Silverstone, the heart of Formula One country that so many of the teams call home. Come rain or shine, it's the venue where hundreds of thousands flock each year, camping, cheering, celebrating. Steeped in history, it hosted the inaugural race of the first ever Formula One World Championship in 1950. A former airfield, its challenging track tests the drivers to the limit. It's a place where legends are born and history is written. Welcome to the circuit. What a race it was to bring an end to Formula One's first ever triple header, 3 back-to-back race weekends. The home fans didn't get the Lewis Hamilton celebrations they were hoping for. Instead, it was Ferrari's Sebastian Vettel who took Silverstone by storm. Vettel stretched his championship lead after taking advantage of a first-lap collision that sent Lewis spinning to the back of the field. Hamilton fought back hard to finish second, but it was the German who claimed his 4th win of the season and his first British Grand Prix victory since 2009. Vettel's now 8 points clear of Hamilton in the championship standings, a gap that could have been so much bigger. And Sir Jackie Stewart knows how important that could be in the race for the title.
Vettel's a highly intelligent racing driver. He's won the World Championship before. The Ferrari have always been peak and valley. I don't know why. During my period, really Ferrari weren't all that competitive, actually. So if they can keep it together this year, I think we could see a World Championship by Ferrari, whether it be constructors or drivers. The driver would be the right one to have. That's the biggest one, if you like. Mercedes-Benz, the Silver Arrows, they've been going since the 20s and 30s. They were dominant then. They were dominant in the 50s with Fangio and Moss. Now they've been dominant again. So I don't see any reason why they still couldn't do it. They know how to run a motor race and they know how to do the technology. So they won't be very far behind, if at all. They may well still win it.
Silverstone is one of the most historic Grand Prix on the Formula One calendar. The history of the event is something that appeals not only to the British drivers, but all of the international drivers as well. So it's like Monte Carlo and it's so much more than a Grand Prix. You want to have that on your CV. As a young boy growing up in the southwest of Scotland, I was a big Nigel Mansell fan. And to see him in 1987 throw Nelson Piquet a dummy down into Stowe Corner, then pass him around the outside and go on to win that Grand Prix, that was definitely a standout day. Another standout moment from Silverstone, for all the wrong reasons for Ayrton Senna, was when he was driving for McLaren and Honda and his teammate was Alain Prost. He was leading the Grand Prix. He made a rare mistake selecting the wrong gear and spun into the gravel. And I remember the crowd rather unsportingly cheering above the noise of his car as he got beached in the gravel. That allowed Alain Prost to come through, his fierce rival within the team, and win the Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton, he's a 5-time winner of his home Grand Prix. But I think the best example of that was in the Mercedes car, in wet to dry conditions. He comes through, brilliant team strategy on the pit stop, and he wins the race. So he is an outstanding performer around Silverstone. Another iconic moment from the British Grand Prix, the height of the battle between Damon Hill driving for Williams-Renault and Michael Schumacher driving for Benetton. The tabloid media were making much of the rivalry, the Brit against the German, and remarkably they crashed, taking both cars out. In this case, it was Damon Hill to blame, and that only fueled the fire ahead of going to the next Grand Prix, which was in Germany. Well, my final standout moment from the British Grand Prix would be any one of my 2 wins at Silverstone. I think the 99 victory was somewhat fortunate because my teammate had an issue with his rear wheel. But the 2000 victory was something that was hard fought. and to stand there on the podium in front of the British crowd and hear the national anthem being played was a very proud moment.
One of the things that makes Silverstone so special is the fans. Hundreds of thousands of them descend on race weekend, and for many, the only way to do it is to camp in the fields that surround the circuit. And that requires careful planning.
My name's Sarah. I'm a Formula One fan, a passionate one at that. My love of F1 really started when I was a small child. I used to watch the Formula One with my dad on television. I probably didn't appreciate that I was going to grow to love it so much when I was older. I can remember him watching Senna and Prost battling with me around that time. He would shout at the television. First Grand Prix I ever went to is reasonably late, 2011 Valencia. We did Valencia twice in a row. And then after that, I've been to Barcelona, Italy, Hungary I've done a couple of times, which is a real favourite. Done a flyaway to Singapore, went to Abu Dhabi for Jensen's last race, and of course lots of visits to Silverstone. I think I'd always liked McLaren because of my heritage with my dad. Lewis winning the World Championship around that time, it just brought it all to life. And then when Jensen went there as well, that kind of all fitted together. So this is where I keep all of my F1 memorabilia that I've collected wherever I've been. I've got a glass cabinet here that I keep all of the mini helmets and things that I buy in. This is one of my newest ones, and I'm hoping maybe to get this signed by Jensen at the weekend because I know he's going to be at the race. I've got lots of car parts and gear cogs and things that I've bought over the years. And also every year I collect hats, caps and get them signed by members of the team. This cushion, my stepmum got me for my birthday, and I took it to one of Jensen's book signings and got it signed. This is actually a picture of me with Jensen at Silverstone, so it's quite a good one to have. I think Silverstone's a bit different because it is the British Grand Prix and you get such huge crowds. There's always that ambiguity of the weather as well. Rain or shine, this would be quite a good thing to have. It's got a special place for most British fans, and that's why we love going there. So I have a checklist that I follow. Because I've done it for 1 year, it's there every year and I just add to it. And from a camping point of view, I want to make sure there's nothing I've forgotten. So this is my pile of stuff ready to load in the car to take to Silverstone. I've got an airbed, really important. You need to try and be a bit comfortable when you're sleeping in a field. A duvet there, lots of food bits and pieces. I've got some lights, some cups, different pieces like that. They're all rechargeable. Got to have your emergency Pringles just in case you need them. So I'm going to Silverstone this year with a group of 7 people. We all met on Twitter chatting about things, and then we'd go to events and it would be, oh, are you Sarah? Yeah, oh, you're Graham, I recognise you. And that happens a lot. It's our love of the sport that unites us, not necessarily the team that we are supporting ourselves.
As Sarah's journey to Silverstone continues, we meet a photographer who captures life in the fast lane with a camera that dates back to 1913.
I wasn't even born then.
Just as the drivers and their teams are familiar faces at each Grand Prix, so too are the photographers that travel the world, documenting the speed, thrills and action at each race. And there's one photographer who does it differently, capturing F1 in a new, or rather old, light.
The aim of what I do is to bring attention to Formula One in a different way, in a more beautiful way. When I started shooting black and white, it evolved into something completely different because it was evoking the past. A lot of it's a little bit blurry. I mean, it's all intentional. I wanted to show some motion and speed. It just feels more raw. It feels more like racing. In 2014, I started shooting with a 1913 Graflex SLR view camera. I love the timeless quality, and it made me see objects and people differently. So I shoot for Lollipop magazine, which is a magazine I publish, and it's celebrating this decade of Formula One. It's more of an artful approach. It's about the people, portraits, drivers, but also truck drivers, the mechanics, the hospitality, and it's everybody. And I usually will take the camera, walk through pit lane, maybe see a mechanic friend, maybe see a driver, maybe see another photographer, take a few frames and let it come together. But I don't shoot for the sake of just shooting. The camera's a great icebreaker and kind of a passport to get me through the paddock and say, hello, I have an old camera, can take your portrait. And they often will kind of look at it and they'll kind of say yes, so it's a great friend maker. I think I probably know 50 to 100 guys, and always kind of, when I arrive at a race, kind of go say hi, have the camera, maybe shoot a new portrait, have a coffee, chat about the car, chat about their children, chat about our jet lag, and it's nice. It humanizes things. Let's do one more, okay?
What's up, Josh?
Hey, Daniel.
How you doing?
Good to see you, man.
You well?
Yeah, good. Been a little travel. I know. We're in England.
Could have fooled me.
How's the trip's been? Last 3 races?
It's been all right.
Yeah.
It's been all right. Like, I haven't, from a racing point of view, like the results have been not what I wanted, but the whole triple header deal, it's been all right.
I was in New York drinking beer, watching car racing on TV.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That sounds better, actually.
It was better, I think. Awesome race in China, man. But it was like one of those races where it's like we're back to F1, where there's a few title contenders. It's real racing. Yeah. I'm sure you'd like to have more wins, but it's like, for the fans, it's killer.
I'll use Lewis as an example, but let's say any Mercedes driver the last few years, like the fight has really just been with them and their teammate, you know, like sure, maybe me or Max or Seb, you know, has taken a win here and there, but I think this year it's going to be more rewarding. Whoever wins the title, even if it's Lewis again, I think he'll feel more fulfilled. You know, it's been a bigger battle.
I'd love to see you win and take the whole thing with this competition.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, you feeling good?
Yeah.
Need help? Need hands? Can I help?
I just heard the word win and I said, let's do it.
All right, cool.
Tell me quickly, I'm sure you told me before, what year are we talking with this?
1913.
1913.
1913, yeah.
You know what? You know the crazier thing than that you just told me? I wasn't even born then.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's it, 1914?
Nah, 89.
89?
Yeah. Close.
Cool. Should we do a portrait?
Yeah, let's do it.
Have you ever shot this?
No.
You should do mine.
Yeah?
You want to try?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, can you take the dark side out? Which
I'm
exposes...
from the dark side, though.
Oh, I know you are.
Yeah.
That's what I like about you. Okay, we've got it on 1.5 inches is the aperture. Dark side's out. Just give it to you. Hold it from below.
From here?
Yeah. And then, but you have to look through the top.
Oh, yeah, I knew that. Of course I did.
Of course you do. Okay, bring your hand forward.
You're like, where do you put
Hold on a second.
your whole head in there?
Hold on a second. Bring you focus here.
Okay. And then how do I take the photo?
With your left thumb.
And just push that down?
Yeah, once you focus it.
All right.
Cool. Do I look all right?
Where should I cut it from? What?
You decide.
All right.
Yeah. And I want you to sign it when we get the print back.
Oh, this is great. All right. Hold up. There's a good little blur. All right. 3, 2, 1. Give it to me.
Cool. So then you pull the mirror back here with your finger. Exactly. You wind it back one. It's good to go. So I put the dark slide back in. Black shows that it's been exposed. Flip it, and I get 2 shots per plate.
And you rock it pretty well.
Thanks, man. Do my best.
I'm not gonna lie, like I don't know the art of photography, but it looks good.
You like shots of yourself, right?
Yeah.
That one we did in 2014 was the best.
Yeah, that's right.
I've been trying to replicate with other drivers, and it's just like, there's a moment, but
I don't have this.
No, but that's with photo. It's just like it's nuanced, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So you know, I'm thinking, I'll have you just kind of lean in this way and look
my
back.
balance is pretty good. I can get up here if you want.
After the race.
Okay.
With Daniel, he's always incredibly friendly, and sometimes they say you can have 3 minutes with Daniel, and it ends up being 20 minutes because we chat and he goofs around and makes a joke. Do you enjoy this?
All right.
The photo shoots?
I like standing in the sun. Do you want a different thing?
I want to do one. I just don't want to do more, just like you were, yeah. Might have had a good one there.
Felt that.
I was feeling it too. Let's do it again.
Felt that.
This is like the one we did before. So I got a shot for you.
All right. Whoa. Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah.
So I think over the last 4 years I photographed, I think, every driver. And I think I'm building a good friendship, but they like the photos too. Awesome, yes.
Tell me what you want me to do.
Yeah, perfect. Just put your hands together.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. And then lean forward a little bit. The other thing I love about this camera is it's a waist level finder. So I look down through the camera to my subject, and I never lose eye contact. So we can have a chat and a rapport, and you're not hiding behind the camera. Where if you shoot with the 35 or a modern digital, you put the camera up and they don't see your face. So there's a trust I think you get by shooting this way. Yeah, it's been incredible.
For more stories from around the track, visit our website at cnn.com/motorsport. Welcome back to the circuit and to Silverstone, home of the British Grand Prix, the oldest race on the Formula One calendar. Despite being famous for its unpredictable weather, fans this year experienced a rain-free weekend, a blessing for those camping in the fields nearby.
It's great when you're at a campsite. There's a real sense of community, and obviously I'm with all my friends. And we hang out together and have a chat and talk about all sorts, as well as Formula One as well, and have a drink and relax. Nick's been cooking us bacon sandwiches this morning, so we've all been having our breakfast outside, and you do get to know a few of the people around you as well. It's just it's a really nice place to be. We've been incredibly lucky with the weather, and anyone that's come to Silverstone a few times will tell you there's normally at least one day when it rains, and when you're camping and you're sharing showers, that's not a good environment. There's a real sense of being part of a community when you're an F1 fan, but there's also some banter that comes with it. So I'm a McLaren fan, and I'll see other McLaren fans at the shower block at the loo, and everyone will talk to each other and comment on how the season's been going, and we'll all kind of give each other a group hug and things like that. We see other fans inside the circuit, we'll see people that support other teams. And the main important thing, I think, is whatever team you support, we can all be friends and hang out together. You know, it's a great camaraderie.
He might not have claimed the race victory, but Lewis Hamilton, a 5-time winner of the British Grand Prix, broke his own track record in qualifying this year. And as we know in F1, timing is everything.
Timekeeping is definitely key to motorsport. You can have cars, you can have powerful engines, but the power of the race lies in time. Most of the timekeeping before the electronic devices were mechanical stopwatches. You would start them at the same time, and then you would stop one by one. You had to have one stopwatch for each car. But the accuracy was challenged by human time. When do you start the stopwatch, when do you stop it? That can take tens of seconds.
Those fractions of a second would have added up to potentially who would be starting the race, who would be leading the next day.
My name is Jean Campiche. I am the former timekeeper for Tag Heuer. I am meticulous. It gets on certain people's nerves that I want to always be clean and tidy. It's a priority for me because I've spent my life measuring time with great precision, so I cannot tolerate disorder. My first contact with motorsports was as a motorcyclist, enjoying the thrill of speed. When I started work for Formula One, my role changed and I began to measure speed, the speed of others. Tag Heuer was offering the chance of a lifetime, to be a timekeeper and look after the timekeeping for Ferrari. It was a partnership which began in 1971. The Centigraph Le Mans changed many things because we could print the results directly. My role was to timekeep between 10 to 15 cars. As the cars passed, I had to press with both hands on the different buttons. Each button corresponded to a different car, so I had to have that in my head. I started to do movements which made me resemble a great pianist playing a work of Beethoven. The difficulty was to find a spot where you could position the timekeeping machine in a way that you could see all the cars and record the time accurately.
Hoyer invented ACIT, Automotive Car Identification Timing System. At that time, Jack Hoyer and Jean Campiche would just tape a transponder below the car, and that would give the automatic time, meaning that you had no human interruption in the timing system. This is what we are still doing today, just that we have a better accuracy, reliability, specifically in the high speeds.
The sport has evolved a lot. The techniques of timekeeping have not changed the sport. The sport has had to adapt with the progress made in timekeeping.
It wasn't as close as some races, but Sebastian Vettel won't mind having celebrated victory in an incident-filled, action-packed Grand Prix. And although British spectators missed out on a home winner, for fans like Sarah Merritt, it was still a race to remember.
Do you know how amazing it was to hear the national anthem? That was brilliant. What? Jensen? Where? Oh my God, I can't get my... Jensen, I've got a helmet!
We got a pen.
I've got a silver though. Hi dude, how you doing? Sorry, I've been carrying it around all weekend trying to catch you.
The pen's a bit not so good, but
Thanks dude, cheers. Hey. I've been carrying this helmet around all weekend hoping to see Jensen. And yesterday he was in the fan village and he waved at me and I couldn't quite get to him in time, so I've been carrying it again all day long. And just now he's just come out of the paddock gates behind us and signed it for me. Makes me feel special, you know. It's brilliant when the drivers give time to their fans, and we see that on the pit walks and all the races we go to in all the different countries. Brilliant to see him back at the British GP, and I think that's just made my weekend for me. Can I get a photo? Cheers, dude. Right? Brilliant to see you again. Thank you.
That's it for this edition of The Circuit. A short but well-deserved rest now awaits the teams after 3 back-to-back race weekends as the fight for the championship title continues.